Premium Hill Academy. Morality, ingenuity, and excellence at its peak.
Welcome guys, let's look at the next question as regard to Theorem 3 questions, right? Look at this, find the value of the angle marked X. We're looking for the value of this angle. Now, but we have a problem here. You see that this angle, it has to be the four of the angles touching the sides of the what? Of the circle. But if you see now, it's only 3 sides touching. We don't have the whole 4 sides touching. So what do? We try and manipulate so that we can have the 4 sides touching. That means try and manipulate, bringing this one here. Try and add this one. Right? If you watch now, we have this side, our imaginary angle, this one and this one touching. So for the 4 angles, the 4 sides, or the 4 sides to touch, the 4 points to touch the circumference of the circle, it means that this angle will sum up what we have here to get 180, right? That's what we've been dealing with, right? But if you watch, we are forming another law here. Let me draw another triangle to buttress what I mean. So look at now, this is our imaginary angle, right? Sorry. This is our imaginary angle, right? And we have another one here, like this. And here is 160. You see that this, we have gone back to our rule 1, or rule 2 that we were treating before. Look at, we said the angle at the midpoint is twice the angle at the what? At the edge. Remember that theorem we did? That the angle at the midpoint is twice the angle at the edge. I'm going to be giving you the link to that video on the description box so that you can understand what we mean by that. All right. So I gave you a formula that the angle at the midpoint is equal to 2 times the angle at the what? At the edge, so that we can get this angle. We don't know what this angle is, right? So we want to use theorem 1 to form this angle, right? So if you want, this is 160. Angle at the midpoint now is 160 degrees. 160 degrees is equal to 2 times the angle at the edge. What's the angle at the edge? Let's just call it y, right? Let's call it y. That will be 2 times what? Y. So from there we have 160 degrees is equal to 2y. You can multiply, right? Divide both sides by 2, because 2 is the coefficient of y. So that 160 degrees, which is equal to 2y, we divide both sides by 2. 2 will take off 2 here. Then my y becomes 160 over 2. 160 divided by 2 give us what? Give us 80 degrees. In that, we know that now y is equal to 80 degrees, right? And we know we have another angle here. The question given, we have another angle. We're looking for the angle x, which is to find the value of angle x given, right? So look at now, if I take off this one, if I try to take off, because we've gotten what we need, so I can take off this. If I try to take off this, what do you see? We're back to our theorem 3. This plus this equal to 180. So from that, we can say x now plus what? Plus 80 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. And you know the reason why now, right? If their diagonals are the same, diagonal angles are the same. So from there we say that x degree will be equal to 180 degree minus what? Minus 80. X becomes 100. See how easy it is? The value marked x is simply 100 degrees. Combining laws, from combining the laws and the angles and see how it works. If you know the angle, the theorem 1, theorem 2, it's easy for us to solve. Just for us to understand how the theorem works and apply it to what we are doing. That's theorem 2. If you know how theorem 2 works, it's easy for us to deal with questions as regarding to this. And if you still don't understand this, I'm still going to be showing you 2 to 3 more questions that buttresses how we can easily solve and apply theorem 3 laws to questions relating to theorem 3 questions. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you. Welcome guys. In this question it says we find the value of the angle theta. Now for our video we have something related to this. Now in this one it's like they are reversed, right? But we're still going to apply the laws to see how we can solve this question. It's quite easy. Looking at this now, it says find the value of theta, right? If we are to find the value of theta, we'll first of all look, see how we can add, because 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 of the sides touching. We can apply the theorem 3 that this will must add up to what we have here equals to 180, right? Just like, let's redraw, just like us saying if we take this one as imaginary line, we are assuming that this is a 4 angle touching, right? Sorry, mine is not quite not drawn to scale. We have here, this one was given as 140 degree. First of all, we have to add these two to get this value of this angle, right? So in doing this, it's going to be what? Simply going to be angle 140 degrees plus, let's call this angle, let's just call it x, right? Plus x is equal to 180 degrees, right? So if you watch, these two cannot add, we have to push this one to the other side. X becomes what? 180 degrees minus 140 degrees. So that our x becomes what? 40 degrees. You see how easy it is to get the value of x. Now we know that x is just 40 degrees, right? Now you watch, now if you haven't done this, you can see that there is also something, they also to find this angle here. So I can, because of, sorry, for easy understanding, I can just remove this one. You'll see we are back to theorem 2. Because we now know what this is from the theorem 3, we got the value of 40 degrees. We know that the angle at the midpoint is equal to 2 times the angle at the what? At the edge. Remember what I said then, right? So what's the angle at the midpoint? Is theta. Angle at the midpoint is theta, equal to 2 times. What's the angle at the edge? Is 40. That's why we're doing this, to get this angle here. It's 40 degrees. In doing that, you discover that angle at the midpoint is what? Is 80 degrees. 40 times 2 is 80. You see how easy it is? It's not hard. Just by applying the laws, applying the rules, you see that I've gotten the answer to this question. In the next video, I'll also be showing you another question that relates to this. You will see that solving questions repeatedly or trying to practice the question will give you a heads up on how to solve questions as relating to this. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you. Alright guys, in this question it says to find the value of angle ACB. It's quite simple. Look at this. And this is an isosceles triangle. Find the value of angle ACB in the question below. It's not hard. Looking at the question, you know that it's a very simple question. How do we do this? First of all, let's get this, because we see that 1, 2, 3, 4 points are touching. We know that first. So let's get this angle. And from this, from theorem 2, we can get this angle. If I will draw the circle like this, right, you see that the circle is like this, right, and then there's another one like this, and then we have our midpoint, and then we have an angle at the edge, right? Angle at the midpoint here is 88 degrees, right? So we can get this. On getting this, we can get this, and on getting this, we can get the value of x. Right, so it's that easy. So let's get this angle from this question now. How do we get this? Remember from theorem 2, we said the angle at the what? At the midpoint, right, is equals to 2 times the angle at the what? At the edge, right? So what's the angle at the midpoint now? 88 was given. So we have 88 is equal to 2 times what? The angle at the edge? We don't know. So let's just call it. Let's call it y, right? 2 times y, right? So from here it's going to be 88 is equal to 2y, because we are multiplying both of them, right? So we divide both sides by what? By 2, because 2 is the coefficient of y. So we have that 88, which is equal to 2y, divide by 2 will take off 2. Our y becomes 88 over 2. Therefore, we know that y is equal to what? Is 44 degrees. 88 divided by 2 should be 44 degrees. Now we have here as 44 degrees, right? Let's just replace it by putting the 44 degree here. Now we can say this plus what is here equals to 180. Let's put this, because we cannot get s. This is a triangle. If you watch closely, you discover this is a triangle. Trying to manipulate till we get what we can use to solve a triangle. So we need to get this part of the question. 44 plus whatever is, let's call this z for instance. 40 plus for z equals to 180, right? So from our law 3, from theorem 3, we know that what? We know that 44 plus z equal to 180 degrees, right? These two cannot add. We have to take 44 the other way around, right? So z will be equals to 180 minus 44. I hope you understand what we're doing now. It's not hard. So with this, z becomes what? 136. We subtract 180 minus 44 will be 136 degrees. So look at, if we come here and put our 136 degrees, it's not easy now, right? It's very easy. So we can pick our triangle. Look at now, we can now pick our triangle from here. I'm going to separate our triangle. This is an isosceles triangle. We have found this place to be 136 degree. This is x that we're looking for. For an isosceles triangle, I'm sure you know that x, these two angles are equal for an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle, right? This place and this place, those two angles are equal. So if here is x, it means here is also x. So sum of angle in a triangle becomes what? Becomes 136 plus x equal to what? 180 degrees. The sum of angles in the what? The triangle. That's the short form on how to write that kind of stuff. So just easier short form. So for this we have 136, x plus x will give us 2x equal to 180 degrees. Since 136 cannot add up with 2x because of the operator sign here, that's the plus sign, we take it the other way around. So that 2x becomes what? 180 minus what? Minus 136. Right? If you do that, we're going to have 44. 2x equal to 44 degrees. We divide both sides. By 2, right? So with that, 2x is equal to 44. Dividing both sides by 2, 2 will take off 2. X becomes 44 over 2. We divide, our x becomes 22 degrees. You see how easy it is now, getting the value of x. So the question says find the angle, the value of angle ACB. If you look at this, is angle ACB. So that's this angle ACB. So these two angles is making an angle with this C here. C. So that's why we're calling it an angle X. And from there we discover that angle X is equal to 22 degrees. Please apply this to what you are solving. It's not hard. It's a very simple question. I'm trying my best to see how we can arm you with the needed knowledge for you to see questions like this and solve them with ease. Alright? Thank you for following me up to this point. I'll be giving you one more bonus question on how to solve problems as relating to Theorem 3. Maybe if I see it in your exam question or anywhere you see it, I'm sure it's going to help you. The information you'll be getting here will aid you or will help you to solve questions as relating to Theorem 3 question. See you in the next video, guys. Thank you, guys. Welcome, guys. We've come to the final question of applying theorem laws of Theorem 3, right? Second theorem of Theorem 3 questions. I'm going to be teaching you this question, how to solve it. It's even the easiest, it's the simplest question compared to everything we've done from day one, from number 1. Now look at this, it says find the value of V, W, X, Y, Z. That's the angle V, angle W, angle X, angle Y, and angle Z. Look at this point. First of all, this point, and this point, they are touching. So we have let me see how I can draw it so that you can understand. So irrespective of anything, we have 4 points touching first. We have 4 points that are touching first, irrespective of anything. That's the first thing. And then we have an extension here, and it's looking like this, right? But see, they gave us 80 degrees, and then they gave us what? 50 degrees. And they asked us to find W and to find angle B. You know what to do? This will multiply with this. Or this we add this to give us 180. This we add this to give us 180. With that, we've gotten our answer. So from the first one, so to find angle, let's start with angle W, or let's start with V. Angle V, it's going to be what? Look at V. It's going to be 80 plus V. That will be 80 plus V equal to 180 degrees. You see it now? 80 plus angle V equals to 180 degrees. So by this, we know that V will be what? 180 degrees minus what? Minus 80, right? So V is equal to what? 100 degrees. Let's call this our number 1, right? To find W, it's easy now, right? It will be 50 plus W. Because look at 50 plus W equals to 180. So we have 50 plus W equal to 180 degrees, because we said wherever we have 4 sides touching first, 4 sides touching, If we take this one off, you see that there are 4 sides touching first. Let's just remove this. If we take this guy off, you see that there are 4 sides touching by taking this guy off, right? So from there, you see that this plus this equals to 180. That angle W becomes 180 minus what? Minus 50, right? So W becomes 180 minus 50 will give us 130 degrees. That's the angle found in W. That's for number 2. How do we find X? It's easy. X is even the easiest. Look at, this is a straight line. Oh, this is a straight line. So to find X, you will see that this is a straight line. So to bring out the straight line there, then there's something like a line distinguishing both 50 degrees and X degrees. You see how easy it is now. So for this straight line, we have 50 and X, and angle, sum of angle on the straight line is 180 degrees, right? So it becomes what? It becomes 50 plus X is equals to 180. Why? Because the sum of angles on the what? On the straight line. Alright, sum of angle on a straight line becomes what? Becomes 180 degrees. So it's that easy. So by doing this, we know that X becomes what? 180 minus 50 degrees. So that X become 130. How easy it is. 30 degrees. How do we find Y? The same thing. Look at this is a straight line. V and Y is a straight line. But we know that V is what? V is 100. So to get Y, to find angle Y, alright, let's draw it so for better understanding. Angle Y is looking like this, or something demarcating it, a line demarcating it, but it's on a straight line. We have angle V here and we have angle Y here. But we know that angle V is what? 100. So we can replace it with what? With our 100 degrees there. So sum of angles in a straight line becomes what? 100 plus what? Y equal to 180 degrees. Right? So if we do that, we know that Y becomes what? 180 minus 100. And Y becomes simply 80 degrees. You see how it's easy? You're just playing with it. It's very easy for us to solve. Then next, what do we do? Say we should find Z. Z is very simple. Z is now the triangle. If you watch, there's now an extension triangle there. To find Z, the triangle here. Look at it gave us a triangle like this, the extension triangle. We know this, and then finding Z becomes easy. We know what angle X is. Angle X from the question, we know that angle X is 130 degrees, right? And angle Y is what? 80 degrees. 80 degrees, right? In doing this, we have know that sum of angle in the triangle is 180. That becomes 130 plus 80 plus Z equal to 180 degrees. But 130 plus 80 will give us what? It's going to give us 210. So look at 210 degrees plus Z equals to 180 degrees, right? So from there, Z becomes what? Look at Z becomes 180 degrees minus 210 degrees, right? And Z will become what? Minus what? Minus 30 degrees. If you watch, Z is an invalid value. Are you getting it? Because there's no angle that is minus here. Even in the triangle, they must sum up to give us 180. If it is more than 180, it shows that this angle is invalid. So we know that angle Z is what? Invalid. From the question, because I got this question from a posterior question, a jam posterior question, shows that angle Z is simply invalid. This brings us to the end of the class of
Premium Hill Academy. Morality, ingenuity, and excellence at its peak.